I am one of the victims of LRA that I was abducted in 2002 from Uganda, a northern part of Uganda. Yes. I was abducted when I was 12 years old. 14 years old. It was in the morning, around 11 in the morning when I was at home. I was doing a bit of washing. My parents were not at home. I was at home just with my younger sister and the brother. So these people just came from nowhere because it was my first time to see them in my life. So when they came, they found me washing. I didn't know that they were coming because I was bending down, and as I raised up, I just saw them standing near me. So they asked me whether I'm married or not. I told them I'm not married because I was still very young. And they asked me to show them the way. I don't know the way to where. I pretend like I've not heard what they have said. Then they shouted at me. Then I started moving with them. So when we moved, we met a very big group of LRA just alongside the road. They were standing there, very many of them, only men, no women, no children. I was the only girl among them that day. When I reached there, I found very many people whom I know who were also abducted that day from my village. So we moved. I was actually not knowing where exactly we are going. I was just moving. So we moved really long distance. And when we moved, we went and settled in a certain place, which I even don't know. It's not actually very far from our home. So we stayed there for something like 2 hours. Then we started moving again. So it was the start of everything in my life.
What happened to you? How did those men treat you?
They didn't do anything wrong on me that day. Maybe because I was the only girl, or maybe because I was not so much disturbing to them. One of the commander asked me whether I want to go back home that day or not. But the fact is, I told them I want to go back home. And they asked me several questions, whether I was at school. I told them I was at school. And by that time, I was already in year 1. So they told me whether I want to go back. I said I want to go back. I want to go back home. They asked me whether I'm missing my parents. I told them yes, I am really missing them and I need to go back. They just laughed at me. And then we started moving. Yeah. But to me, I knew very well I was not coming back. They told me that they were sent to come and take me. That they were sent to come and get one beautiful girl. And that is me. That is what they told me. And they told me that is the reason as to why they have taken only me. Because they have sent them specifically to come and get me. One beautiful girl. And that girl is me. So to me, I knew it was reported by maybe one of the community members in our village that I was at home. Because they came straight to her home and they took only me from that village that day. Yeah, but I knew it was the starting of everything. Everything turned around in my life and life became so different for me.
You were so young.
I was very young. Yeah.
What happened next? What did they do?
We moved. From there, we kept moving on daily basis. The following day, they took me to the commander, the big commander, the leader of that group. So when they took me there, I thought, because what they told me before I was abducted is that when you're taken there, you're forced to a man. So when they took me to this commander, I thought they wanted to give me to him as his wife. Since I was even very young, I started crying. And he asked me, why are you crying? Then I kept quiet. And then he asked me the same question. Do you want to go back home? I said, yes, I do. I want to go back home. And he said, don't worry, I'll take you back home. You'll go back home, you'll see your parents, you'll go back to school, you'll see your friends. Okay? Then I said, okay. Then he asked me again, do you really want to go back home? I said, yes, I do. Then he asked me, do you think I have a parent at home or not? I said, I don't know. I have no idea. Then he said, don't you think I also want to see my parent? Then I kept quiet because the question was becoming, but my heart was telling me that he was not taking me back home. And that is what happened.
And then he made you marry him?
And then he didn't make me his wife because I was still very young. They took me back to one of the commanders just to take care of me, not his wife, just to take care of me until I grew up to a big girl. So they took me back to him and he continued taking care of me.
When did they first hurt you?
Sorry?
When did they first hurt you? Did they hurt you?
They didn't hurt me. One day I tried to escape, but I think that maybe that was not the day God has prepared for me. I tried to escape, but they caught me on the way before I had gone anywhere. So they had to bring me back. They wanted to cane me, but the commander said, no, don't cane her. And they didn't cane me. So that day, they didn't hurt me. Yeah.
Did they start to hurt you? Did they start to force themselves upon you?
No.
For how long?
For 2 months. Yeah.
Where did you sleep?
We sleep in no house. There's no house in the bush where you sleep. You just, we move on daily basis. You're not settled down. You have nowhere to sleep, no hospital, nothing. They only put a tent where you sleep under, or sometimes you just sleep on an open place like that, just in the bush. No mattress, no what, only the bed sheet, and that is it.
So you were very vulnerable?
Very, very vulnerable. In fact, everyone who is in the bush is completely vulnerable. Because you have nothing, completely nothing. You don't know whether the next day you're living or not. But by God's grace, because you're taken innocently, God still protects them. Yeah.
So how long were you with them, and what was the worst thing that happened?
I was with them for quite good times, for 7 full years.
7 years.
That was very much, too much. And the worst thing that happened that I saw, one of my best friends, whom I even know from home, before I was abducted, we were good friends, they killed him. When I was seeing death in front of me like this, I couldn't cry, because they told me once I cry, I will be killed together with him.
And were you still the only girl, or were there other girls by then?
When I went there, when I met the big group, there were many girls, very many girls. Women with children, very many. I was not the only one. But the day of abduction, I was the only one.
Poline, this is a very difficult question. Did they rape the other girls? Did they rape you?
The other girl, I call it raped, because they are forced into men who are older than them. You find a 12-year girl being given to a man of 45. Is that right? You find a girl of 14 years being given to a man of 50. And they are not treated well. Somebody very young given to a very old person, which is not a choice. So painful. I call it rape. They get pregnant with them. At the end of it, because they are very young, they lose their life, plus their babies. Sometimes they lose their babies and the mothers remain. But still, you are not allowed to mourn for your child. Your child is buried in the bush.
Did they make you be with an older man?
Me, they did not give me to an old man. I was given to a man of 25 years, and by that time I was already 16 years old, which to me was not yet right. It was not a right time for me to be with a man. It was not, you know. But because I have no choice, I have no voice, I am completely vulnerable, they had to force me to him, you know. Though I was treated well by him, he treated me just like, you know, he was like a father to me, but other girls were still suffering. Other girls around me, I saw them, because what they were going through, I feel it like it's me going through, though the person I was given to was treating me well. But what about others?
So they were so young?
They were so young.
How young? At what age would these men think it was okay to give a girl?
They don't look into that. The only thing they look into is this girl is beautiful. That is all. They don't compare the ages. They don't see that a 50 years old man should at least be given a woman of maybe 49 or 48 years. They don't see that. You know, what they see is this girl is grown up, supposed to be with a man. And for men, they have voices. They can speak out and say, I don't want to stay with this lady. For a girl to speak, it's very hard. You cannot bring out your voice and say, I'm not ready to stay with the man. Once you come out and say that, they will kill you straight away. So, girls always fear to say anything. They fear to say a word. They just go into anything they have given.
What does it do to a young girl to be told she has to be with a man? What does it do to you for the rest of your life?
It made me, gave me a lot of thoughts, and since it was not the right time, it affected me so much psychologically, because I kept on thinking it was not my right time. They broken my virginity when I was still very young. I'm not mature in everything. All parts of my body is not yet mature, not ready to give birth, It really affected me so much. As I also saw other girls being affected,
Did you fear becoming pregnant?
Yes.
Did it happen?
It happened. I lost my baby as well. As I told you, I was very young, not ready, not mature enough. I lost my baby, and the baby was buried in the bush. I didn't mourn for my child. See?
Why couldn't you mourn?
They don't allow you to mourn. You don't need to mourn for your child. It was so painful. I experienced 2 full weeks labor pain. And at the end of it, my baby died. I didn't carry my child. I suffered too much pain. You don't carry your child. Your child died, they buried in the bush. You're not allowed to cry for it. It's really, it's painful. I had to let it go.
What would have happened as you cried?
When you cry, they'll kill you. They'll even tell you on your face, you temper to cry, we shall kill you. Because you fear for your life, you'll keep quiet. You'll cry in silence from your heart. When it's so painful. Yeah.
What would be your message this week here in London?
My message to the people in London is that what happened to me should not happen to any girl. Not only in Uganda, not only in London, in the whole world. Forcing a girl into a man is kind of sexual violence that should completely be stopped. A girl has the right to choose the person of her own, the person your heart wants to be with. They should be given that chance. They should be given a right to choose what is right for them. People have, there's time for everything. And my message is, if this is actually happening in London, as it's happening in Uganda and other world, then we should join hands together and fight it out. That it should be completely stopped. Because these things greatly affect girls, especially as girls. Because we are the most targeted people. That everyone in the community looked at us. They look at us as, the source of satisfaction, which is not right. We should be given, time to take things of our own hearts, things that our hearts desire. We know the right time that we really need to be with someone. But we should not be forced into a man. We should not be sexually abused. Completely wrong. Should completely be eradicated. I don't want it to happen to someone else. Should stop with me. And I'm speaking it out because I want the world to hear. And the people of London to hear. I cannot keep quiet on my experience. I cannot keep quiet on what I went through. Because it happened to me. I'm speaking it out because I want it to be completely stopped. People who are already doing it should completely know that it is very wrong and should completely be eradicated.
Because how long do the scars last that this weapon of war leaves behind?
I beg you.
It's something, what happened to you, what happens to girls, to women over the world. What does it leave behind?
As I said, things that happen to other girls, to myself, it leaves a very great impact behind. For example, girls in the bush who are abducted, who are taken innocently. They are taken to fight. They don't know the reason why they are fighting. We were born on this war. We found it already existing. We have no idea why they are fighting, but we are taken there to fight for no reason, for things we don't know. Why should they do that to us? We are children. If leaders are fighting for something, they should leave us out, because we are really children. We are taken there. The impact is they have ruined our future. Some of us were taken when we were at school, but when we are taken there, did we study? We have no school in the bush. Nothing completely. What you only know is the day-to-day fighting. The only thing that rings in your mind is gunshot. Every day you hear gunshot. There's nothing like school, nothing like books, nothing like hospital. The impact is your future is ruined. Your health is greatly destroyed, because some people or some girls in the bush, they get pregnant at a very early age. During delivery, their bladder get burst. Urine passed all over their body. Their virginity is destroyed. Your child is dead. You're not supposed to mourn. Brings that psychological torture that trauma. That at times even girls or people who come back from the bush, at times they are not really settled in mind. All the time they always have bad dreams, like they're killing someone, like someone is coming to kill them, someone is coming to attack them. Put that trauma in you, that it takes really long time for it to heal, It puts wound in your heart that really, really take times to get healed. I speak because I'm strong. Some people cannot speak about their experience, especially people who come back from the bush. Always find it very hard to speak about themselves, to speak about what they went through. But I'm strong and willing to speak about it over and over because I want it completely to be stopped. You see? So it really have great experience, great impact. Very great impact. Yeah.
I think you are the strongest woman I've ever met, Poline.
I am.
Yeah.
I am, because recently I was sharing it with one of my friends whom I even knew her from the bush. She could not speak. She only said one word and her tears was rolling. I had to tell her, calm down. It's already the past. Let it go. Focus and see the future, and you are now out. The only thing you should do is speak out. As you speak it out, you'll get healed in heart. You'll have someone to talk to you, people will come near you, comfort you, tell you words that will heal your heart. I had to comfort her. But I'm just strong, I think. It's open, talking about, your child who died and buried in the bush, talk about it over and over. If you're not strong, you can't.
Yeah, no, I think you are so strong.
Yeah.
No, you are so strong.
I have to be.
No, now, Ramsey, can we get a wider